Hey guys, it's Jennifer and welcome back to the channel. This week I wanted to talk a little bit about what I was doing during lockdown in terms of socializing and to kind of break up your routine when it comes to food. I know we're all being affected in a myriad of ways by COVID, and different countries are kind of affected differently and there are different restrictions in place. And right now in the Cayman Islands, a lot of our restrictions have actually been lifted. That being said, a lot of what I'm going to say is applicable to like complete lockdown situations, as well as like long distance friendships and long distance relationships. So the first of these, which is actually my favorite thing to do, is to cook together over video call. So what's not to love? Good company, doing an activity together, and eating good food together. I just think that that's kind of like the perfect combination for someone like me. I have this one friend who is like super into cooking and really makes really good food as well. So we would do Sunday morning calls together and we would cook breakfast. He would teach me how to cook the breakfast, like French toast and crepes. So it's kind of cool because you're kind of learning something new as well, at least on my part. You get to catch up over a video call together and you get to eat like good food together. With my boyfriend as well, sometimes we would kind of cook our own respective things, but we would kind of catch up while cooking. There's kind of a sense of normalcy with that kind of thing as well, which I think is nice. The second thing, of course, which you can do is to play games with your friends over video call. Of course, there is the House Party app, which is great to kind of like connect as many people as possible and play games on the same device. Another fun game to also play is to download the game Mafia, and then you kind of need two devices for this. So you download Mafia on your phone or your iPad, and then you have your laptop where you kind of connect over a Zoom call or Skype or whatever video call it is that you guys use, and your phone where you actually are playing the game. The third thing to do is to order food from like a restaurant or a cafe to be delivered to each of your friends' places, go on video call together and to have that food together. So it's kind of like bringing the restaurant experience to a video call. And of course, another idea is to have date night with either your friends or your partner over video call. So I did this quite a bit with my boyfriend. We would kind of take turns to each order something to be delivered to the other person's house. And so there's an element of surprise there because you don't know what type of dinner you're going to be getting that night. What I did for one of those nights was to kind of take him on a virtual tour, first to the galaxies. So that was going on NASA's website and kind of just like doing these cool searches where you can see what the sky looks like on a certain day. I then took him to Paris, where we went to a museum together and we kind of went through the virtual museum, and we did another virtual museum in New York as well. And another thing that we did a lot together was to watch movies at the same time. So this requires a bit of coordination, and one person kind of has to sacrifice on the audio quality because otherwise you get a lot of feedback. A non-food related one in this one was kind of like a class that was offered on island. It was like a virtual beach pour class. So we kind of did this art class together. Then we socialized afterwards. We talked about the art that we did together, showed each other our little pieces of work. That was really cool. I just spent the last hour doing a virtual facial class with my favorite spa here in the Cayman Islands called Number 11 Spa, and it was really good to get an expert to kind of tell you how to do the facial massages and how to properly like make the most of the products that you have at home. And another thing that my boyfriend and I certainly did together was to read together. Like we'd read our own books, but it's just kind of like having the video call there and kind of being in the same like virtual space, and then just kind of read in silence but together. If you know me, you probably also know that I didn't used to be very much of a cook, but I have gotten better over the last year or so, like kind of cooking it more at home and things like that. So over lockdown, my flatmate and I would kind of cook together, we would make dinners together and things like that, and on special occasions we would kind of make like a nice breakfast or like a nice like champagne brunch at home, kind of break up your routine a little bit. Another cool idea to do with your friends and family, which I didn't personally do but my housemate did and it looked like so much fun, is to get together over video call and do a quiz. But not just any quiz. It's a quiz that one of you guys will be designing and each winner will just design the next quiz. You could kind of design certain categories that is unique to your own social groups. So like, guess who said this, and it's kind of like going through people's Facebook walls and kind of digging up funny stuff from the past, or like digging up old photos and then kind of like viewing that together over Skype. It's kind of like a sense of nostalgia, you know, reliving some of those good memories that you've had with your friends over a quiz and a video call.